Lagos State government, we joined the suit and we have our own reliefs which are distinct from the reliefs being sought by the other states. We canvassed before the court the impact of this policy on the government of Lagos State and the people of Lagos State. You must bear in mind particularly that this policy is one which impacts negatively on the functions of the Lagos State government in terms of our revenue, in terms of our finances. And the government is apprehensive that if this policy is not reversed urgently and speedily, we might witness another serious outbreak of violence in Lagos. We have already seen pockets, and as such, we have come to the court to seek succor, to seek relief, and to prevent this suffering that the government and people of Lagos State are being made to go through by this demonetization policy of the federal government.
Why are you listening to this proceeding?
Well, today the Supreme Court took all the originating summons, listened to arguments for and against, and has adjourned the matter for judgment on the 3rd of March of this year. So we'll be back to hear what they will say on the 3rd of March. But the important thing is that pending the 3rd, when it will deliver its judgment, the interim order of the Supreme Court is still in place. And that is that the old 500 Naira, 200 Naira, and 1,000 Naira notes are still legal tender. That is the order of the Supreme Court.
We're seeking basically the same reliefs that all the other plaintiffs are seeking. We're seeking a declaration that the move by the president to change the currency without notice, sufficient notice, is hurting the people of Abia State. The government is not able to transact business properly, and also the citizens are suffering. You can see how people are queuing up on ATMs to try to get money and all that, and it's not working. As all of us stand here, we don't have any cash. So while we do not have any problems with the government wanting to redesign the currency, what we have a problem with is the fact that the notice is just too short. And even the money, even the period that was given for this to happen wasn't even adhered to. So the money didn't even become available on the 15th of December. It was much later that it became available. And then they haven't even brought sufficient, notes for people to have access to money. And we're also concerned that the people of Abia State who have traded and have this money, and which is their wealth, are going to suffer by losing their resources just by having old Naira notes that they can no longer exchange. So essentially, this is what we've gone to court to say, and to declare the action of the federal government and the president totally unconstitutional. I am a representative of the Abia State Attorney General. The Attorney General instructed me to file this suit on behalf of Abia State. Yeah.
What I'd like to say to you is this. The president has great respect for this court. The president has. The president will do nothing to undermine the powers and jurisdiction of this court. We are all working at trying to salvage a difficult situation. That's where we are. The Supreme Court is trying to do that. The president is trying to do that. It's one nation, one people. We are looking for solutions. Please, those who have this Naira in their hands should submit them to the CBN or any banks designated for that purpose. Nobody will lose his money if you try to comply. Please. There aren't, as far as I'm concerned, there are not two parties in this matter. There's one party, the nation, and we're trying to solve a problem and we are getting there.
1 and 2 only vest the executive powers of the president. But Section 148 and paragraph 19 of the Part 2 of third schedule to the Constitution clearly state how the president is to exercise those powers. It is mandatory on the president to sit with the National Federal Executive Council for them to discuss the issue and agree on it. It is mandatory on the president, since this is an economic issue, to seek the approval of National Economic Council, which the governor of Kano State is a member of. And the governor of Kano State said that that issue was never tabled before the National Economic Council. So Kano State is saying that the approval and directive given by the president is unconstitutional because it did not comply with the provision of the Constitution. As such, the Supreme Court is being called upon to set aside that direction and approval and declare the action of the president null and void to the extent of its inconsistency with the provision of the Constitution. That is the case of Kano State. Thank you, sir. Yes, it subsists. It subsists. The Supreme Court did not say that it has vacated its order, so it still subsists. Thank you.
Well, the major relief that the plaintiffs are seeking here is that the president has the power, further to Section 23, to direct the CBN governor, but the time frame given for this policy to be implemented and the terms are very short, and it's not convenient for the plaintiffs and indeed Nigerians to conform. That's why you have seen a lot of chaos everywhere. The president has powers, but that power must be exercised judicially and judiciously. Judicially, the president has exercised that power because he has given the directive to the CBN governor. But judiciously, has the time frame been reasonable in the context of the provision of 2023, it is the contention of the plaintiffs that the time frame given is not reasonable enough. And to that extent, that policy is working hardship on the plaintiffs and the yes, exactly.